So my buddy Jack, a car reviewer who absolutely knows what he's doing, buys a brand new Lexus GX. He drives it up to Montreal for a quick trip and parks it in a completely secure, underground parking lot for the night. And when he wakes up the very next morning, it is completely gone. Literally night one.
Gone. First night. Underground, secure parking. Gone. That quote is basically the story of this entire class of highly desirable SUV right now. It honestly doesn't matter how secure you think your parking spot is. If you own one of these platforms, you are a target.
Section 1. The proposed fix, the 2027 Toyota Land Cruiser. Today's explainer is all about the vehicle that is supposedly the undercover fix for this widespread theft problem.
We're taking this thing for a drive. Take a quick look at the raw power numbers of this 2.4-liter Turbo 4 hybrid, the iForce Max. It brings some serious performance to the table without necessarily screaming about it to everyone on the street.
Section 2. Undercover Luxury. Getting into this vehicle is entirely a vibe-based experience. You get in, you drive around, and everything just feels normal. It's probably the most normal, neutral, and advanced car of 2026.
The concept of undercover luxury here is actually super fascinating. On the surface, the interior might look a little, basic, maybe even a bit Chevrolet-like at first glance. But the moment you actually touch anything, wow, everything is premium. That hard plastic? It's actually a soft-touch dashpad. The trim? Soft. You've got this deeply satisfying, chunky physical shifter that feels like a 4Runner, and an awesome array of tactile hard buttons. No digging through touchscreens for your differential locks or 4 low gears, which is an absolute win in my book.
And speaking of design choices, Yuri actually parked this tester right next to a first edition model that had the classic circle headlights. He thought it was hilarious and tried to tell the very confused owner that their cars were matching. Yes, she absolutely did not get the joke and literally yelled at him for staring at her car.
But seeing them side by side raises a massive debate. Circles or lines? I genuinely cannot decide which look is better, the retro circles or the modern rectangular lines. Both look great. So drop a comment below and tell us which headlight style you prefer.
Section 3. Quirks and small annoyances. Let's transition from the luxury into a quick reality check because, well, no vehicle is completely perfect.
There's a little bit of daily friction you need to know about. The back seat? Fantastic. Totally kid approved. But up front, you'll be fighting with the cup holders. A standard McDonald's coffee cup fits perfectly, but your favorite daily travel mug? Absolutely not going to fit. Toss in an Apple CarPlay system that randomly forces you through connectivity menus instead of just plugging and playing, a trunk floor that sits noticeably high to fit that hybrid battery, and front seats that lack vertical lumbar support, and you've got a few daily annoyances.
Despite all of that, it's still a fantastic premium vehicle, right down to the clean gauge cluster borrowed from the Lexus IS350. But that brings us to the heavy question of this explainer. With all these positives, why on earth is there a massive asterisk on buying this SUV?
Section 4. The Sleeper Theft Target. Let's talk about the sleeper problem, because the car theft crisis is completely out of control right now, and this vehicle is sitting right in the crosshairs.
Remember Jack's Lexus GX? Stolen the first night, gone. Thieves operating today are highly organized. They are targeting desirable SUVs from supposedly secure underground lots and rapidly moving them out through major shipping ports like Montreal and Toronto, before the owners even realize the vehicle is missing.
The real danger here is that the 2027 Land Cruiser is essentially a sleeper version of that exact same Lexus GX platform that Jack had stolen. I mean, if everyday Toyota Highlanders are already getting stolen left and right for parts and international resale, something this highly capable and desirable is an even bigger, much more lucrative target.
And that is honestly the only reason I'd hesitate to recommend buying one. Not the car itself, but the risk. In fact, Yuri literally sold his previous Land Cruiser for one reason, and one reason only. Someone attempted to steal it right out of his driveway. They didn't get it, thankfully, but dealing with that constant risk is just exhausting.
Section 5. Driving Impressions. Okay, let's shake off that terrifying theft reality with a quick therapeutic brake boost and talk about how this thing actually performs if you manage to keep it in your driveway.
There's a really fascinating disconnect between the specs and the feel here. On paper, it boasts a massive 465 pound-feet of torque. But behind the wheel, the heavy weight of that hybrid battery kind of dampens the punch. It isn't slow by any means, but it just doesn't hit you in the chest the way the twin-turbo 6 and the Lexus equivalent does, which, by the way, explains exactly why Jack bought the Lexus and why it got stolen.
The reality is, it drives exactly like a traditional body-on-frame off-roader should. Take a corner with some speed, and you are going to get noticeable body roll. This isn't a sporty handling SUV. It's an off-roader. But the 8-speed automatic is incredibly smooth and unobtrusive, and the braking is exceptionally confident, without any of that weird, spongy, regenerative braking feel you get in a lot of hybrids. Plus, the cooled seats have these active, quiet fans that genuinely feel like they're blowing cool air onto you, rather than just passively pulling heat away.
Section 6. Tech and Privacy Concerns. Let's dive into the technology because there's one particular feature inside this cabin that might seriously make you want to stick to cars made before 2019.
We live in an era where interior privacy is rapidly disappearing. Automakers like Ford are literally patenting technology for lip reading and emotion detection just to act as a gateway for starting your vehicle. It's making buyers seriously question who is actually watching you while you drive.
And this Land Cruiser steps right into that controversial territory. It comes equipped with a built-in eye-tracking system, a driver monitoring camera that constantly keeps tabs on your attention. It's super intrusive. Jacob's dad actually has a similar system in his RAV4 Hybrid, and he hated it so much he had to literally Google how to dive into the menus to permanently turn it off.
Section 7. The final asterisk. Let's see how all of these elements build into one incredibly complex purchasing decision.
At $87,225 Canadian as tested, this is real money. But the fascinating thing is that it successfully undercuts the comparable Lexus GX, offering you similar platform capabilities for slightly less cash, all wrapped up in a seriously premium, drama-free daily driver.
It shows just how much the market has shifted. Toyota has elevated this iconic Land Cruiser badge far beyond their standard lineup. Honestly, this Land Cruiser feels more premium than a Toyota Crown. You aren't just buying a Toyota anymore. You are stepping into genuine luxury territory.
This is a pleasant, drama-free vehicle that might just get stolen. We leave you with this final, provocative thought. Is the incredible undercover luxury, the smooth on-road comfort, and the rugged off-road capability of the 2027 Land Cruiser truly worth the constant, nagging risk of waking up to a completely empty parking spot?